Oh boy, it's time now for Mr Nailsin Sunday Comics. And, well, we'll get to it. But first, I've got to check a few things. As is always the case, you know the deal. I think we do. Come on. If it would. There we go. I just had to make sure I could hear me. And I did. So that's exciting, isn't it? I think so. So, as I said last week, I'm going to do Peacemaker comics. And so I did the first one of issue 2. That's right, number 2 of Peacemaker from way back in the 60s. And I read the first story. I'm already forgetting what happened. There was a submarine or something. But now there's this one. Looks like it's going to involve Soviet Russia. So it's called The Ultimatum. Why? I don't know. I haven't read it. So we'll find out. That's how you find out about things like this. Hi, Thompson. Yeah. It's time for Doug Nelson. Well, yeah, it is. Because I'm going to read Peacemaker. So anyway, The Ultimatum. Once more, the world totters on the edge of the abyss. A madman has seized power, and he has built up a war machine, which he intends to turn loose on mankind. Oh, so maybe this is like sort of an alternate universe type Soviet thing. I don't know. It's almost like the crescent, but then a cross. Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, today is the day of the ultimatum. Premier Geck goes on television and radio to announce his plans of destruction and conquest to the world and to the Peacemaker. Your clever diplomatic speeches cannot deter me, Christopher Smith. Behold the weapons that will smash all armies set against me. In a moment, you will see the greatest warplane ever built. This alone will ensure victory. Premier, I warn you. You are doomed to failure. This is Christopher Smith. As a U.S. peace envoy, no man is more opposed to war and violence. But when diplomacy fails, Smith becomes the Peacemaker, master of awesome weapons of his own creation. So is that like supposed to be missiles shooting out of his shoulders? Or looks like a spaceship there. And that's kind of like a jet. And he's got all kinds of stuff in there, you know. I mean, I know his helmet can shoot stuff. I didn't know it could shoot, you know, airplanes out of it or whatever. Maybe a little what? Had a little hiccup there. Anyway, at Geneva, where endless arms conferences are held, that's what they do, you know. Christopher Smith and his shapely secretary, oh yeah, are returning to the chalet, where the U.S. envoy has his private offices, you know, for him and his shapely secretary, and other facilities. Well, you have now seen Premier Geck's arms build up firsthand, Mr. Smith. Yes, and it worries me. Geck isn't bluffing. He's looking for a war. Smith uses his direct line to the White House to express his concern over Premier Geck. 3 days from now, Gek will stage a parade to flaunt his military might. I urge and alert all jet bombers airborne, all missiles and Polaris submarines at the ready. Look at me. I'm shapely. Giggle. And this bust here's like, God damn, look at those. Yeah, I don't think Premier Gek will change his plans. I'll keep trying. Yes, I'll be on the reviewing stand with him during the parade. Well, the parade begins. The air is charged with hostility. Gek has drained his nation's wealth to produce this terrifying war machine. The thundering roar of the mobile weapon sends up a dread that chills hearts around the world. I see that you are impressed, Mr. Smith. What? The best is yet to come. My warplane. If that fighter bomber is as good as he thinks, and he has them in numbers. Yeah. Just when does your aerial dragon appear, Excellency? Soon, the earth will cower at the sight. Let me tell you about my dragon. Ordinarily, I don't want to hear a man talk about his dragon, but this aircraft achieves a space of 3,000 miles per hour. It carries a recoilless 80mm cannon which fires small atomic shells. The rockets also deliver atomic charges, and the most advanced fire control systems direct this weaponry. And in case you're wondering, I have a squadron of them. They're coming now. Wow, what a coincidence. So here they are. Here's the super planes, and I don't know, they're able to catch radio anywhere, but what the hell is that? I guess it's a gargoyle. I have a demon on my shoulder advising me. There, you decadent democratic dog! There is my ultimatum. What is your answer? I'll have to admit, those planes look deadly. But first, I gotta suck on my pipe. I demand instant capitulation. Notify your president that I'll attack unless I receive an immediate surrender. You have issued the ultimatum. I'll deliver it. I'm glad I warned Washington before Gek could carry out his attack. He'll be destroyed, however. I've got to prevent it from reaching that stage. I've got to become peacemaker. Quickly, Christopher Smith moves to his quarters in a moment. The envoy. I've got to clip that buzzard's wings and fast. Has become the peacemaker. And once again, he faces the ambitions of a madman. Gek is waiting for me to bring him the reply from the president, and he won't wait long. My own jet is just outside the city. I've got to reach it. Really? I mean, how do you keep that concealed, Still unalterably opposed to violence, the peacemaker races to a jet fighter of his own design. Perhaps his scientific genius can stop Gek's attack on the world. So he's got a little jetpack on his back, but that's just to give him a skip and a hop to the, airport airstrip that, Gek and his army didn't notice was sitting there, and it's probably a more superior plane and all that. They could have stolen it and back engineered it and all that, but they had a parade to perform and all that. So I guess they just didn't notice it. Anyway, I'm glad I flew here in this instead of by conventional aircraft. It may save the day. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They'll pick me up on radar at any moment. And with radar-controlled missiles, I wouldn't last long. Whoops. I really brushed my teeth too hard. I got bloody gums and it got all over my word balloon. Oh no. Oh no. The little black box was designed for this. For what? A switch? The lever? Your glove? The dial? I don't know. The Peacemaker's hurtling jets set off air raid alarms. Anti-aircraft bases erupt into action. Missiles controlled by radar are sent skyward in different directions, aimlessly because of the Peacemaker's little anti-radar device. So I guess that's the deal. The little black box. Usually the little black box is just something that has all the data of what went on in the plane, the operation and everything, so they can get some idea of what went wrong when it smashes into the ground and, kills the pilot and all that. But here, his little black box stops their radar from working. Anyway, what is happening? Nothing is working properly. One of my missiles just demolished the waterworks. Crap. There goes the water park. Man, everybody likes the water park. Sure, it's mostly just swimming pools, but they got all kind of slides and stuff. It's fun. Attention, Special Squadron, intercept intruder, destroy him. He will not survive the first burst. Let me have the honor of destroying him. On target for the kill. Guided missiles. Only one way to avoid them. That is to destroy them first. So there goes his missiles. My missile got him. The credit is mine. Not yet. Well, how's it going? No, not yet. The Peacemaker's missiles destroy the attacking rockets and the command plane. Quickly, use the atomic cannon. The jet fighter bombers hurtle at supersonic speed after the Peacemaker, who banks clear. The enemy is too intent on the quarry to see what's beyond. Unable to pull out, the squadron carries its atomic weapons to a flaming impact. Yeah, right into the city. So, boy, there's all those, irradiated bombs going off. So it's like just raining dirty bombs on the city. So, that's going to have some serious repercussions for, I don't know, a couple of decades, oh, well. Oops. I didn't really think this through. Man, what is this, a messed up page or something? Yeah, I think so. Holy crap. The scan was all screwed up. So see, there's a word balloon and he's explaining it. Oh shit. Oh man. Everybody's going to be irradiated and they're going to have mutant babies and stuff. Oh geez. I'm guessing, I don't know. Well, these things happen, You'll pay, the whole world will pay. But Gex roars of rage are lost in the thunder of Mach 4 jets as the Peacemaker releases a thick vapor on the city. Sure, it's bad enough they're all going to die from radiation poisoning, but first, I'm going to stink it up. The gas has taken effect. Gex mechanized horde is stilled. Are they dead? Or... Attention UN inspection teams. Gek's war machine has been neutralized. Premier Gek will be willing to discuss disarmament agreements now. Smirk, 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 smirk. Well, now it is over. The man of peace can put down the weapons he dislikes using. The need for violence is past. Once more, Christopher Smith can employ the tools of diplomacy and publicly crusade against war, which he dislikes so much. Mr. Smith, the report from Central Asia has just arrived. I know. I'll send a severe note by the next courier. Whatever that's about. The end. So there you go. See, that's how Peacemaker in his original form, back in the 60s, acted. He wasn't, the poor white trash idiot that you see in the show. But, of course, they're going with the DC Comics version. This is the Carlton comic. So he did change up a bit when DC bought the character and reintroduced him. But a lot of this, as this sort of super duper pooper scooper Captain America-like agent, stayed intact. Yeah. So I guess I'll continue on with this backup story, The Fightin' Five, and we'll see what they're all about. But first, let's see what the chat has to say. Well, not much. Sabrina's Espresso says, the turquoise person is waving. Still, after all this time. But, those hands aren't going to wave themselves. Oh, wait, let me see what the, why is it? There we go. Jeez. Okay. Well. All right, the Fightin' Five. The Fightin' Star Five. I don't know. The last time we went on a mission with the Fightin' Five, I didn't, but I guess they did. Ruler of Darkness, Peacemaker #1. Huh? Oh, the previous issue. All right. We witnessed the incredible bravery of Irv the Nerve, who gave his life, oh, good Lord, in order to save millions of people who will never know how close they were to a mass grave. In that same instant, when the Israeli warrior died, Hank Hennessy, Special Forces captain and veteran of the wars in Vietnam, gave his right arm and his left eye for his fellow man. And now the leader of the famed battle group is forced to remain behind while his friends follow orders in the field. Let's listen in now as Hennessy explains this most recent problem. And somebody else is bleeding all over the word balloons. Yeah, I don't know. And this new land radar site was totally destroyed. 93 technicians are missing. You three will fly north, land at this fighter base, and proceed by whatever means you see fit to the area. We sure wish you could come along, Hank, with just Tom and Frenchie. Hank knows we'll miss him, Granite. Granite? Come on. The three of us can do the job. 3? Shouldn't it be 4? Hey, someone pinned a note on this guy's head. It's kind of a stupid note. You won't be 3, Tom. The computer is selecting a man to replace Irv the Nerve right now. A computer? Well, that's crazy talk. Well, I wish that crazy fad would just die out already. Right, this computer, part of our intelligence, this new equipment is digesting the requirements I fed into it a short while ago. Central Intelligence Procurement supplied a group of eligible applicants from which the computer will make its choice. Why can't we make the final selection, Hank? Because you're all a bunch of dummies. We'd be swayed by personal likes and dislikes, perhaps an emotional or chemical reaction. This method is foolproof. Look, the candidate has been selected. Well, that just looks like a bunch of dots on the paper. Well, it is, but later the chosen candidate arrives. Remember, Central Intelligence has carefully screened all candidates, and the computer has cold-bloodedly assessed all factors and made the wisest choice. We cannot quarrel with the method. All hail AI. Open the door, Hank. Pum, pum, pum. A woman. This is... Wait a minute. Recognize her, Granite? The communist security agent. Grab her. I'll grab her, all right. Yeah. We meet again, gentlemen. Your arm, Captain Hennessy. I am sorry. And your eye. It is sad. Well, I know a way you can make it up to me. Hold it, Granite. Sonia, in our reports, we identified you as a Russian security agent. Surely the CIA fed this data into the computer? I told them all, my dear Capitan. Oh, wait, that's German. Anyway, I was chosen anyway. I am now a member of the Fighting Five. Now, what are my duties? Well, I can think of a few. Psh, psh, psh. So there you go. It's not the Fantastic Four. It's the Fighting Five. And, well, she's the girl of the team. Anyway. Especially equipped supersonic bomber is fueled and waiting. Hank Hennessy will not go on this mission. The first time he will remain behind since the... Oh, wait, that's the narrator. Since the group was formed. How stupid can the desk warriors in the Pentagon get, Hank? Saddling us with a dame we know was on the Moscow payroll. I don't trust her. I'm a desk warrior now, buddy. Don't knock us heavy thinkers. Check in after you investigate the Noose Springs new site. And keep an eye on Sonia. I know I would if I had one more other eye, Anyway. Will you men please stop watching every move I make? Obviously, the CIA are satisfied with my credentials, or I wouldn't have been assigned to your group. They're just looking at your ass, Whew. We're going pretty far north. Well, yeah. The radar sites are being destroyed and the personnel taken away. But to where? Reconnaissance planes have been patrolling the Arctic area. Our people have not been removed yet. This is a short strip. Buckle seats and hang on. Oh, buckle seat belts. Whatever. Hey, there you go. Screech. It lands. Ta-da. Area seems clear. We'll use belt jets and ski mobile. Frenchie, set up your radios and the portable radar set. FF5, scan the area northwest of the Ashes. There are snowcat tracks heading that way. Well, Frenchie listens for radio emission. Sonia scans the area with the small radar. And Granite uses the belt jets to go up for a look around. Oh, that's what this was. Well, damn it. Okay, so they're there. And I get stuck jockeying this rig while you cats go swinging off into the wild blue. You're the snow can expert, Tom Tom. We're going to need this ice train when we find our missing technicians. FF5, keep away from that area below. There's ground fog and humidity is near zero, FF2. Under these conditions, a fog could not occur naturally. Wait, FF5, I order you to keep away from there is interference, FF2. I cannot read your signal. Check out my press. All right. This is the enemy camp, hidden beneath a simulated ice fog. Their radar installation searching out U.S. and Canadian secrets in the Arctic skies. FF, this is a communist installation. Quickly, fire at the intruders. FF2 Granite, what? Gillard, I guess, uses full jet power to get clear. I'm getting out of here. Shh. Oh, he's got a jet thing too. So, you are prisoner. That's where you're wrong, Ivan. The woven nylon armor I'm wearing will deflect the missiles, and it just blows him up and he dies. Body armor is not a defense against this weapon. FF2 from FF5. Where do you want this snow train? Golly, I'm an idiot. I'm up here getting shot at. Frenchie also flew into the man-made fog, and a dart-like missile dumped him into the hands of the enemy below. Now the 4 Americans are apparently doomed, and at least 3 of them seem to be. Comrade Major, I have a message for you from the NKVD. May I speak with you privately? She's a commie, just as I thought. Credentials issued from the Kremlin desk of the NKVD. Oh, aye. Welcome to our camp, Comrade Commissar. In what way may I be of service? Throw those fools in with your other prisoners. I wish to inspect your security measures. The 3 loyal members of Fightin' 5 are driven into a vast ice cave, where the captured technicians are prisoners. I'd like to twist that dame scrawny neck, Granite. You'd better get your eyes checked, pal. A traitor she may be, the one thing she ain't is scrawny. Yeah. This oversized ice box must be escape-proof. Welcome to our home. I hope you have help on the outside. No, sir, for now. It's just us 3. We were 4, but it seems that one of our group turned traitor on us. Dun, dun, dun. These are the master switches controlling the alarm signals, out of doors, and lighting. Uh-oh. Look, Sonya just socked the boss commie in the bread basket. Ooh. Granite recovers from his surprise first and belts another guard while Frenchie goes after a third. The control panel, FF2, open. The steel tunnel barriers. The freed prisoners leap for their captors' throats as the Fightin' 5 destroy the enemy installation. The remaining commies are swiftly hammered into submission. Get behind us, Sonya. Don't take any unnecessary chances. I'm as much a fighter as you, FF2. Well, yeah. Later, things are under control, really. The artificial fog maker is turned off and burned away, I would think. Anyway, and contact is made with an Arctic jet fighter. We will need transport from the fighter strip for 96 personnel. Oh, wait, that's Frenchie. Oh, well, whatever. Homeward bound after the first mission of the new Fighting Five, and Granite still isn't sure of their newest comrade. I'm going to keep watching her, Hank. Yeah, I'll bet you are, Granite. The end. That was great, wasn't it? Yeah. It was just as good as it gets, isn't it? Oh, jeez. Any times in any movies this weekend, Doug? Nope. Sabrina's Espresso, 4 cups of tea. Or maybe coffee. I don't know. All right. Well, that's it for the comic book. Now we know the totality of Peacemaker number 2. But hey, who the hell is Peacemaker? Well, I guess we'll take a little look-see. Over at good old Wikipedia. Look, it's was originally owned by Carlton Comics and later acquired by DC Comics. The original Peacemaker, Christopher Smith, first appeared in Fightin' Five number 40 in November 1966. So, oh boy, now they're the backup story, you know? It's kind of sad when the new guy comes in and just muscles in on your whole operation or whatever. Anyway, was created by writer Joe Gill and artist Pat Boyette. Smith was depicted as a pacifist, willing to do anything to bring peace to the world. The character would feature in a short-lived comic run and would later be revived after DC Comics acquired Carlton Comics characters. Vigilante haunted by ghosts of his past. Peacemaker would see a brief comics run and would later be killed, though another incarnation of Peacemaker would follow. Smith's incarnation would later be revived from the dead and act as a mentor to the third Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. The Christopher Smith incarnation of Peacemaker appears in media set in the DCEU and the DCU franchises in which he is portrayed by John Cena. This incarnation is based off of the DC version of the character and appears in the film The Peacemaker 2022 and makes a cameo appearance in the film Superman 2025. Though largely forgotten following the 1980s, Peacemaker's appearances in The Suicide Squad and his television series were credited with reviving the character's popularity. Critics have highlighted the television incarnation of the character, and Cena's performance has been praised. Cena's incarnation's bisexuality has also been the subject of discussion from critics. Yeah, it was thrown in for woke points. And then he had a butt. Acting as an envoy and diplomat of the Geneva Arms Conference, Christopher Smith is a pacifistic diplomat, so committed to peace that he is willing to use force and kill as a superhero to advance the cause. Taking on the title of Peacemaker, he uses an array of weapons to combat many international threats. He also founded an organization known as the Pax Institute. Well, post-crisis, so pre-crisis, post-crisis, refers to Crisis on Infinite Earth, booted everything. Anyway, Smith is reintroduced as Christopher Smith of his father's true identity and subsequent suicide to avoid arrest. Well, he takes on the name Christopher Smith. Smith would be haunted by his father's ghost, who would give him commands, many of which Smith would obey. Smith would later serve as a soldier and is incarcerated after massacring a village of innocent people. Smith would join the government organization Project Peacemaker part way into his sentence. Taking on the mantle of peacemaker, Smith would serve as a vigilante, believing that his helmet contained the ghosts of the people he killed. And he just happened to be like in the McDonald's across the street eating a burger, and he saw that and like, oh no. Now he's haunted by the ghost of that guy. That's what he thought happened. Made a special forces unit hunting terrorists until his own behavior becomes too extreme. Smith later dies during a battle with the villain Eclipso. Peacemaker is returned to life and would later become a mentor to Jaime Reyes, a new incarnation of the superhero Blue Beetle. Following this, he begins working with Amanda Waller, a government official that he had previously worked with during his time with Checkmate. Peacemaker undertakes many missions for Waller before eventually joining the Suicide Squad. So, of course, the TV show appears in film The Suicide Squad. Peacemaker is sent by Amanda Waller to aid the Suicide Squad on a mission and remains loyal to Waller after the other members of the squad turn on Waller to fight Starro the Conqueror. Smith kills the group's leader, Rick Flag Jr., and is seemingly shot and killed by his teammate, Bloodsport. Following this, the character appears in the 2022 television series Peacemaker. The show's first season sees him put on a government task force to stop a species of aliens known as the Butterflies. The second season of the show, releasing in 2025, depicts Peacemaker visiting a parallel universe where he is an admired public hero. Cena's version of Smith also makes cameo appearances in the DCU television series Creature Commandos 2024 and film Superman 2025. Peacemaker appears in the 2023 video game Mortal Kombat 1 as a crossover guest character and also appears in the mobile version of Injustice number 2. Another version of Smith appears in Suicide Squad Isekai. I don't know. Voiced by Takahito Kayasu and Sean Patrick Judge in English. This version is the character of Flowing Death in comics, called the P in crossover series Armageddon 2001. An alternate female version of Peacemaker known as Peace Wrecker was introduced in the crossover series Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. So there you go. Peacemaker and Christopher Smith. First appeared. It's pretty much repeating the same crap. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. Carlton Comics later went out of business, and DC Comics would acquire the company, obtaining the rights to many of their creations, including Peacemaker. These characters would be incorporated into DC Comics' fictional universe, first via an alternate world before eventually being brought into the mainstream. DC Comics continuity during the 1988 DC Comics crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Following this, Peacemaker would receive a limited comics run in 1988, which was run by Paul Kupperberg and Todd Smith. The run would redefine the character's personality and history. Initially, Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' Watchmen series was planned to feature characters from the Carlton Comics creations. Peacemaker was planned to appear, with the series being dubbed Who Killed the Peacemaker? Though DC initially allowed the usage of these characters, the later plan to incorporate the characters into the mainstream DC universe as part of Crisis on Infinite Earths resulted in DC retracting the ability to use them, stating that they didn't want the character left either dead or dysfunctional. This resulted in Moore and Gibbons creating original characters to fulfill the outlined roles, with Peacemaker being replaced by the comedian. While Smith's incarnation of the character would later die during the events of the crossover event Janus Directive, resulting in his replacement by another incarnation named Mitchell Webb. Smith is later encountered in the comic Day of Judgment, where he is returned to life. Smith proceeds to mentor Jaime Reyes, a new incarnation of fellow Carlton Comics character Blue Beetle. Smith was later given his own backup feature in the Inferior 5 comics before being incorporated into the Suicide Comics run. Though historically Peacemaker had not been a member of the Suicide Squad in the comics, his appearance in the 2021 film The Suicide Squad resulted in Peacemaker being put onto the team in the comics. So you see how that works? That's how. Well, anyway, while writing The Suicide Squad, filmmaker James Gunn selected Peacemaker to appear as one of the titular squad's members. Gunn was initially looking to cast Dave Bautista in the role, as the two had previously collaborated on the Guardians of the Galaxy films in the MCU franchise, with Bautista's portrayal of Drax the Destroyer. However, role in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead 2021, which is a terrible box to portray the character in April 2019. Gunn had wanted to work with Cena upon seeing his performance in the romantic comedy Trainwreck 2015 and had been looking for an appropriate role for him for a while. Cena had previously auditioned unsuccessfully for roles in both Marvel and DC Comics-based films. Cena's casting in the role was officially revealed in August 2020. Upon being cast, Gunn told Cena not to read any comics featuring Peacemaker, as Gunn felt Cena having a preconceived notion of the character would distract from the story he wanted to tell. During the promotion, tactic wrestler. Well, after finishing work on the Suicide Squad, Gunn began working on a spin-off series about the origins of Peacemaker just for fun during his COVID-19 lockdown isolation. He brought the idea to producer Peter Safran, who was later approached by DC Films to create a Suicide Squad spin-off series, according to DC Cinematic Universe, a celebration of DC at the movies. Gunn was asked to make a Suicide Squad spin-off series based on one of the characters from the film, with his prior work during the lockdown resulting in him choosing Peacemaker to be the series lead, the killer members of the Suicide Squad during the 2021 film, which is one of the reasons that Gunn decided to create this series, despite him originally intending for the character's apparent death in the film to be permanent. The Peacemaker series was eventually picked up by HBO Max in September 2020, with Gunn writing all 8 episodes of the first season and directing 5 of them. Cena agreed to reprise the role for the series in 2020, becoming an executive producer with Gunn and Safran. As a result, Peacemaker, who was originally intended to die in the Suicide Squad, was kept alive in the series. Well, no shit. And a post-credit scene was filmed in January 2021 for the film to set up Peacemaker, which also began filming around that time. Following the first season's success, a second season of Peacemaker was ordered in do. Peacemaker, pacifist, so dedicated to peace that he did whatever was necessary to fight against warmongers. In his comics, he fought alongside an institution of his founding known as the Pax Institute. Following the acquisition of the character by DC, Peacemaker was recharacterized as a violent vigilante who had a mental breakdown after discovering his father was secretly a nasty. The character believed he was haunted by the ghost of his father as well as the ghost of those his father had killed. Smith believed the ghosts could speak to him through his helmet and the grand strategy. This version of Peacemaker is recruited by the organization Checkmate. In this current incarnation, heroes such as Wolverine and the Punisher were popular. Peacemaker's DC counterpart is an anti-hero and a master of weapons. He wields advanced weaponry and technologically advanced armor, including a jetpack and jet plane, as well as many types of explosives and firearms. Many of Peacemaker's most defining traits is his helmet, the one he wears on his head. The helmet has the ability to emit ultrasonic frequencies to overwhelm people's senses and scramble electronics. The ability to sense hostile enemies in the nearby area, the ability to fire lasers, swim underwater, and mimic other people's voices. In the Peacemaker television series, Smith has multiple helmets, with each one having its own unique ability. Well, for the character's appearance in the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, Peacemaker is portrayed as a patriotic, jingoistic character who is willing to do anything for what he sees as freedom and peace. He is emotionally closed off and portrayed as a rude, violent jerk. The television series expands on Peacemaker's character, depicting him haunted by his murder of the character Rick Flag Jr. Smith is depicted working to make peace with himself and grow as a character, receiving encouragement from several supporting characters in the series, while others judge him for who he is outwardly, believing he cannot change. The television series also focuses on Smith's relationship with his abusive father, racist, who acts as the villain, White Dragon. Multiple critics characterize Cena's portrayal of Peacemaker as being inspired by Watchmen's comedian. Cena elected to portray the character as bisexual in the television series. It was one line thrown in, with Gunn stating that Cena made Smith into this hypersexualized dude that is open to anything sexually. Again, he didn't really depict that at all until this orgy episode in the second season. So they're just padding this up for, again, woke points. Even now, after the woke era has collapsed in on itself. Cena examined the history of Peacemaker in the comics and determined that the following Dick Newby, writing for The Hollywood Reporter, stated that while nobody actively disliked the character, nobody actively cared about the character either. Newby stated that by the time Peacemaker had become a DC character, he was already relegated to the D list. It always goes back to the D. D television series was what had made people care about the character. Polygon's Susanna Polo highlighted in the television series portrayal Polygon Outcome stated that the Peacemaker television series allowed the character to expand from being the flat character previously depicted in the Suicide Squad. These sound like a bunch of idiot articles, paint by number things, but critics in both the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker Okay, blah 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 blah. So there you go. Peacemaker now being played by John Cena. It doesn't even mention they did a series. Come on. Why is everything so damn slow today? Jeez. I can't. Oh, I should have done it on that one. Peacemaker tries hard. There we go. Oh, not that one. Peacemaker tries hard. Hey, come on. How come I won't do it? Lord. No, no, I don't. I don't want Batgirl. I didn't think it would take this damn long. Oh, it changed. Okay. All right. Uh, uh, yep. There it is. So that's the latest series they did. Um, so it's very much in the TV show, but it's the same idea. It's all very silly. And